Hey guys, Shane here at CrossFit Jeff, helping you go further, faster in fitness. And today's Shane Talks is all about recovery. How to know when to take a day off, how long to take off, and why we should be taking days off. The first point that I wanted to go through with you guys, if you needed recovery or a way of understanding that you need to take some time off from training, is your enthusiasm, is your energy. I've seen it before. Somebody might walk in, put their bag on the ground, and just slump to the floor and sit there before the workout, barely raise their eyes, barely communicate, barely have any energy for the session. And not always is this the case. This is one point. If this and some other things sort of come up in your day, you know you need a rest day. If this is all it is, sometimes it's just about work and life, punching you in the face. And that's okay to push through sometimes. But if this is a regular thing, if most days of the week you're coming in and your energy is just terrible and your enthusiasm is terrible, then you know you are on the wrong path and you know you need a break. I put them together because sometimes your enthusiasm can be high, which is fine, you can train, and sometimes your energy can be low at the same time. So it's about both. If both are low, you know you need a break. I don't want to see people coming in being more bummed out before they start. Yes, it will put you in a good mood because that's what training does. It releases endorphins. Most of the time it's going to do that, but it's not the best thing to push through. Sometimes you just need to get out into the ocean, out into the air and the breeze and see how you feel rather than coming into a gym with four walls and closing yourself off to the energy around you. But yeah, so if your energy and enthusiasm is low, you need a recovery day. Point 2 is DOMS. If you have excessive DOMS to the point where you can't move your muscles the way they should move under full range of movement, then you probably need another day off. And it's okay if your arms are sore to do a lower body workout. But if multiple muscle groups are sore, let's say my arms and my legs are quite sore, it would make more sense to me to then take a recovery day. Epsom salt bath, maybe a stretching routine, maybe just a little bike ride or a walk, maybe walk the dog, walk with the family. That's a better way of training on those days when you have excessive DOMS than coming into the gym and doing more repetitions on joints that are already sore. Not only will it lead to poor results, it will lead to potential injury. If you push through those DOMS, you move differently. Okay, when you've got sore legs, when you've got sore hips, when you've got sore calves, your body will move in a way that it's not wanting to move, and so therefore loads up other areas of the body, putting more pressure in areas that don't need that pressure, and then can potentially lead to an injury or a niggle. And most of the time I've suffered any type of repetitive strain or any type of injury in my body has come from DOMS a couple of days before, and I've noticed it. So it pops up or flares up right after I've had some excessive DOMS and I trained through, right? Even I'm bad at taking my own advice, don't worry. But yeah, if you have DOMS, I would avoid training and I would have more of a recovery day. High heart rate. Point 3, if your heart rate is high straight away off the bat, when you walk in and you start warming up, you get on the bike and you feel like your heart rate is through the roof and you're only at low RPM on the bike, or you just started doing a basic barbell warm up and you are gassed, or that barbell feels about 100 kilos, it's a sign that A, you need to sort of kick back a little bit, or B, you need to take the day off. It's not a day to push yourself. It's not a day to train if your heart rate is already through the roof or if your barbell feels like a ton of bricks. So monitor that. I don't need you to write down your heart rates and keep a super keen eye on it, but I do need you to know what that feels like. Poor nutrition. That's another point. If your nutrition has been poor, this is a Monday morning thing normally. If you've been drinking all weekend, if you've been out partying, if you've just not eaten the foods that you normally eat, then don't expect to get out of your body what you normally do. Don't expect it not to bite back a little bit, to be a little bit frustrated with you, because your body wants to be healthy. It wants to feel good. It does not want poor, shitty quality food in it, and it will get back at you. It will get back at you, in an extreme way and cause disease, which is disease. And I think that's extreme. Like if your habits mean that you have poor nutrition and poor lifestyle habits for decades on end, or even, a couple of years on end, yeah, that'll happen. Like, not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. Our body will get sick and it will bite back. But also, if your nutrition's been quite poor the last few days, it's not going to be very happy with you. It's not going to have the fuel that it needs to push you. And so therefore you need a recovery day, you need a rest day. So instead of being in the gym, you should be in the kitchen preparing and organizing food that will make you feel better for tomorrow. rather than pushing your body and wasting time. So use that hour differently. Instead of being in the gym doing burpees and push press, be in the gym steaming sweet potato and cooking some steak. Much better option. And the last one that I wanted to go over was just plain out, and this relates to energy enthusiasm, but just plain out fatigue. Normally, I know that this is happening when I have no acceleration in my workout. And what I mean by that is I may be doing a set of thrusters and they're not incredibly difficult. But at the end of those thrusters, I've got nothing. I got more fatigue than I normally would. Maybe I'll do a bunch of deadlifts. And at the end of those deadlifts, I feel like I need a 15-minute break. My level of fatigue is higher after movement. So I felt all right to move. I didn't have DOMs. I had relatively good enthusiasm. My heart rate was okay, but fatigue when I'm training. I fatigue earlier. I fatigue quicker than I normally would. And I'm noticing a drop in performance. There's no acceleration in my movement. There's no power. There's no strength. It's just moving. And that is a sign that I need a recovery day. Your body is extremely smart, and you need to be open to the signs and the symptoms that it gives you at every moment. From the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, it's easy to ignore your body. And then all of a sudden, it will give you a very loud and clear message. Unfortunately, if we don't listen to our bodies, it is in charge and it will say, hey, that's enough. I'm going to make you sick. So your immune system is compromised now because you've been pushing through and through and through when you shouldn't have. And I'm going to give you an injury. So therefore, it wakes you up and says, hey, I want you to stop moving. So how about I take out a joint and see how you move with no knees? Your body is smart. It's a step ahead of you. As much as we like to control, mind over matter, in some cases that can be used and utilized, but you can't utilize that every day. You can't push through that every single session for days on end. So you need to make sure that you respect the body. The body is smart. Then the other thing, and that was at my last point, but just quickly, if things, the message is not being received, and I say this just because I thought of it now while I'm chatting. If in a session you are not understanding the process, you're not understanding the purpose of the workout, if you are feeling depressed about your goals and bummed out, you need a day off, okay? You need a day off because you need to get hungry again, okay? Say weight loss is your goal. If you're just like, I can't be fucked training, this is bullshit, it's hard, I'm not getting anywhere. If you start to have more negative thoughts than positive thoughts while you're in the gym, you need to get out of the gym and you need to take a break. You need to have a rest day until you go, you know what? I am hungry for more results. I am hungry for success. I want to be in the gym. And that can sometimes take a few days to get there, and you need to take a bit of time off. How long to take on a recovery period? At least the 24-hour period as a bare minimum. Any less than that is not recovery. It's not a day off. It's not a rest. Really, you only got a handful of hours of rest out of that entire day, not many. So I always say 2 back-to-back days is great. And if you need it, you need 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, and there is no limit. If you need 6 days off, you need 6 days off. If things aren't feeling good, if you're depressed, if your fatigue is high, if you have poor nutrition for the week, if your heart rate is still high, if you're still sore over 4 days, this is not go back to training. This is still take time off. Your body still needs you to take a break. So don't just think that, I had a day off, I should be fine. That's not how this works. Your body will tell you when you are fine. Ask it questions, move around, around at home and see how you feel. If it's not right, it's not right. You need another rest day. So don't feel like there is a minimum or a maximum, like 24 hours, that's my maximum rest time, and then I'm good to go. Well, maybe, but also maybe not. So recovery has no limit. If you need more than 1 day, you need more than 1 day. And personally, I like to do, if it was a perfect world, if we could all train when we wanted and we didn't have schedules, it'd be a couple of days on, 2 or 3 days on, and a couple of days off, 2 or 3 days off, a couple of days on, a couple of days off. And that is probably the best structure that you will probably see. And I've actually, a client messaged me today, and she, in fact, has had more probably rest days than she's ever had. And yet things are getting better for her. Things that were bothering her are no longer bothering her. Her success in the gym has not gone back. In fact, she told me the other day that even though she wasn't training as much, she felt like she was still keeping up. Shock horror, that you don't need to train every single day to be the best. You can still be great at training and great and feel good even by resting. So for this lady, it is amazing that she's experiencing the fact that, it isn't all about punishing myself every day to get better. Sometimes recovery will make me better. In fact, I believe that the better recovery routine that we have, the more potential we have to show our abilities. We can then express ourselves when we do train, and then we can push ourselves harder and we can achieve more. So the rest day is super important, and I wanted to get that through to you guys, and hopefully this all made sense. And I don't want to keep it for too long because I don't like these videos and these audios to go for too long. So hopefully I'll see you in the gym soon, guys. And if not, make sure you're doing something at home and recovering, right? Because this is about recovery. So if you don't want to come in, stay at home, chill. Until next time, guys, see you on the next Shane Talks.